My message is the International Refugee Day is a day importance, but it cannot go through like this. Is a day that we must celebrate it. Before celebrate, we must think all those people died on the sea, because only on the sea that 22,000 people died on the sea. Before we do everything, at least we must stop for 5 seconds or 5 minutes to think for all those lives losing, and we are going to lose, because we know we don't have we didn't have still answer for them. And the same message that I continue to appeal for all the organizations, for all the governments, we must move together, because I think human being is more than everything, because we are not speaking about product, because we are speaking about human being. It's important to give us answer, because at the last are the victim of our own governments, are the victim of European politics, are the victim of international politics. We must give answer to those people. We cannot continue close our eyes and we continue like this, because people are tired to waiting. It's the time to move all together. The situation we have in Italy is not very well. We have people sleeping on the street. We have people, family with children. Between north and south, and the countries fighting. Some of them say you don't want to give him welcome. Some of them are full, but we don't have really strong system on hospitality and welcome center. The problem that we have, even all the borders between all the countries is already closed, and at the same time people want to continue to other countries, because we know in Italy who doesn't have strong systems for refugee. We are speaking about really refugee for Eritrea, Somalia, Syrian people. People have family, children, with women. We have completely full all the train station of Tiburtina is in Roma, and we have one in Milano. The train station is already full. We are trying with some organizations to go to support them, but it's not enough, because the problem is big than Italy. But we must give answer for those people, because we were not waiting, because we're just starting the season of the boats. We imagine that next month, or between July in August, to be more people will be landing on the country. We must prepare. We must give answer. We must have. We don't have solidarity inside the country and outside the country. Is important that we must help us other, because we are talking about human being. Even people have the right, because even in the Convention of Geneva, there is no limit of refugees. There's no any country have the limit to receive refugees. There is no limit. I can receive 1,000 or 2,000 or 1 million. There is no really limit for how refugee we must receive. And the same time is we know we must manage. We know already the problem exists. We know it. That we want is answer. We must give answer to those people. It's really sad, because refugee become like market between country to country, even inside between political men. It is always using on elections, but it never using on term of humanity. Is only in terms of economical problem. Like example, how one refugee, how to be cost for me, but it never seeing that we must give him help. We must support him. First, we must support those countries in transit. Second, we must support refugee, and we must push those countries let escape a lot of refugee even in the original country. And we don't have a European politic on immigrations, because we are really sad, because Europe, even he won the Nobel of Peace. It means Europe must be solidarity the front of all Europe country, because if you see, we have 28 countries. In 28 countries, not all of them give protection of refugee, not all of them give the same basic assistance for refugee. We continue to fight without giving answer, because really now is going on in Ventimiglia, is border between Italy and France. Is really sad. It's really sad. You see, people refugee was being picked only to push them out of the border, and people really are going to because have some family in France or in UK or in Germany or in Sweden. We must give the opportunity. We must work on that. And the same time is that we want from Europe that he must put a budget that, like this, any country cannot suffer to put for his own budget to financing refugee. At least there to be a budget is for all the countries that who giving assistance for refugee. But at the same time is first we must assist them, and after we must fighting first we must assistance, and after we must confront or get solution on that one. We cannot now starting to fight together and we see people sleeping on the street.
What do you think are the aspects of solutions? What do you think are the 3 aspects of solutions?
We have, okay, there's some easy solutions. The first one we are saying is all the country, because we know, or we are speaking about unifications program of family of refugee. We know some country you can, if a refugee, you have the right to bring your wife and your son. Even sometimes it takes long process, like 1 year, 2 years, or 6-8 months. If the first that we can do, I think is easy, is we must simplify the process, and at the same time is we must open for all the family. That it means I can bring my brothers, my sisters, my mom, or my fathers. Is so much important that we must simplify the life of refugee, of those people. The second one, we must put operation, because I think the problem is European problem, is not in every single country. Because if you Greek, we have the same problem. We go Spain, have the same problem. We have Greek, the same problem. Even we have Germany, different problem, because at last Germany has more service. All people go to Germany. If you work in European level, that we say, if you have the same, at least some services to be guaranteed in European level, it means that we must do operation European level. It means, one, the Mediterraneans, we want a project for long term and strong for research and rescue people on the Mediterraneans. And it will be divided for all the country, because the responsibility is for all the country. Or Europe must exist, or Europe do not be exist, because the problem is European people. That we say is, even we support those countries is in transit, because if we say we have only 1 million, even those a lot of people continue to are landing in Sicily or in Malta or in Greek, maybe it will be reach 1,500 million, but we have like 52,000 million of refugees continued died major part of the sea. We must prepare on that one. We cannot continue to fight. We must just see after the emergency. We cannot continue to say even emergency. It's not more emergency. This problem is already exists from 15 years ago, 10 years ago. We know already we have the problem. That we don't have now only a really strategic answer for those people. Because we cannot say people from Syria wait until we get the peace in Syria. We know there is no peace in Syria. People are dying in Syria. That we must think is important to give answer. We are speaking about children, women. Some of them lose all that he have.